and welcome to Bookish Sisters Podcast. I'm Allie.
And I'm Jamie, and we are two sisters who love talking about books.
We would love it if you would follow us on all of our social media platforms and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. It really helps us out, and it'll keep you in the loop with all things Bookish Sisters Podcast.
The links are in our bio.
So today we'll be talking about Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard.
Heads up that there will be spoilers up ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled, now is your chance to tune into a different episode instead.
So we thought we would start with a Red Queen edition of This or That. Mm-hmm. So would you prefer red or silver?
I think silver.
I feel like I prefer silver too.
Yeah.
It's nice and sparkly and, I don't know, it catches my eye.
Although I do love the color red.
And it is eye-catching too.
But, like, in the context of the book, I'd rather be silver.
Yeah, I don't want to be red. I don't want to be red.
Okay. Superhuman strength or super speed?
That's a tough one.
I know, right?
Maybe speed. I think of how fast I could do all of, like, my chores around the house.
Oh, that is true.
I could probably run to a bookstore.
Yeah?
Because it wouldn't take any, like, time.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I would go with superhuman strength.
What would you use it for?
Think of all the books I could carry at the bookstore.
That's what husbands are for, Jamie.
He doesn't go shopping with me that much.
Well, you get a shopping cart. So would you rather be able to manipulate water or fire?
Water for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like too many things can go wrong with fire. Things can go bad with water too.
Yes.
But I feel like fire can be a bit more destructive.
And if you can manipulate water, if it's raining or something, you can, like, protect yourself from it hitting your books from walking out of the bookstore in the rain or something.
Right?
Or getting your book mail from the mailbox. It's all about books.
Would you rather control the weather or have the ability to explode stuff?
I think I'd rather be able to control the weather.
Me too.
I don't think I really have the use to be able to explode stuff.
I don't know, like, what would you use the ability for?
I would be afraid I would hurt somebody or break something that I don't want to break stuff.
Yeah, and, like, we were both accident prone. And, like, also, when you're first learning your ability, think of everything that can go wrong.
Right.
First, you accidentally explode your library. Then you accidentally explode your house. Oh no, you panic at the grocery store. Next thing you know, the whole store explodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
Yeah, and if you can control the weather, you can make it sunny when you need it to be sunny. Like today, you want good lighting for something. You can make it nice and sunny outside, not dark, gloomy, and gross.
And, like, you could prevent some of the snowstorms.
Mm-hmm.
Make it so the roads aren't absolutely horrible.
You can have everything affect everyone else, but your house isn't affected.
Yep, your house is just in a bubble of sunshine.
You'd never have to plow your driveway again. Like, you wouldn't have, like, ice coating everything.
I feel like that would be, like, such a more useful power.
Yes.
Because, like, again, what's the point of exploding stuff? Like, what would you use that for in, like, modern times?
You wouldn't, unless you were, like, some villain or something. So, do you prefer a dystopian or modern setting?
You know, I like them both. I do like a good dystopian setting, but I don't always love it.
Mm-hmm.
But the same goes with modern settings. So, I don't know.
I think for me, it just depends on the story itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I like and appreciate a modern setting, but I don't really like it when they're, like, dark and gritty.
Mm-hmm. Or, like, the modern settings when they pull in, like, real-world problems.
Yeah, because I don't want to read about all those things.
That's why we read fiction.
And dystopian settings are usually only okay for me, I've found, when there's, like, some whimsy tied in, like, in some kind of fairy tale retelling or something.
I don't mind dystopian settings, though. So, Red Queen is the first book in the Red Queen series.
Mm-hmm. We actually ended up having differing opinions on this a little bit, which doesn't happen that often.
I know, right?
So, we both had this series on our shelves for a really, really long time. Yep. And we really needed to give it a read and determine if we like it enough to keep it, because it takes up a lot of shelf space.
These books are big, and they just get bigger.
Mm-hmm. And there's quite a few of them.
And, of course, we had to buy them all before we read them.
Yeah. And it's a problem, especially for me, because I had multiple copies of Red Queen. Because I'm one of those people that will buy an entire series and sometimes multiple different editions before I have even read a single thing from that author.
Mm-hmm. Especially since we shop at these bookstores,
yes.
so they're affordable.
Yes. And when you have credit,
mm-hmm.
you, like, at the store, it's even cheaper.
Yep. And, like, I love to buy the books in the series before I read the first book. Because I like knowing that if I love the book, I can immediately pick up the next book. I don't have to order online, wait for it to be shipped. And I don't have to scavenger hunt all the local used bookstores in the hopes of finding it.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. Because that has happened to me so many times. I just know better now. But in the beginning of, like, reading, like, when I started reading a lot, I would discover I liked something, and I'd be like, oh, I need the next book. Could never find copies. And then I'd forget what it's about before I got to pick up the next one.
And that is probably why I have so many unfinished series.
Probably.
That I'm in the middle of. That I may never finish because I'm never finding book 2 or book 3 or whatever book I left off on.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't want to pay to order it online and not know what condition it's coming in.
Exactly.
So you can't go off of their acceptable or like new.
No, but there's so many times I've received ex-library editions that are, like, really beat up, covered in sticky grossness. I've had some come, like, super water damaged before.
Yeah, I'm like, do we have the same definition of, like, great or like new here?
Because, like, new, I don't know how you mix that up with anything else. Like, it should be like you bought it brand new.
I don't know, but then again, you go to, like, some of the bookstores and you buy books new. Sometimes they're, like, all beat up and damaged. Like, I am convinced that someone read them before me.
Yeah, and not very carefully. I know, and I'm like, I'm not going to spend full price on this when it's all beat up. Like, I can find a used book in better condition than this new one. I don't understand that.
Why does this new book have a cracked spine?
Exactly. That has happened so many times.
Like, are people reading books, like, in the Barnes & Noble?
But if you are, wouldn't you think you'd be so careful and not, like, crack it open and curl the cover back?
And, like, if that's the case, why aren't you buying your book?
Exactly.
Why are you reading it, cracking the spine, and then putting it back on the shelf?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but no!
Yeah, that's not how it works.
We don't do that.
No. So there are 5 books in this series with the addition of several, like, half books.
Mm-hmm. Starting off with Red Queen.
Then you have Glass Sword,
King's Cage,
War Storm,
and Broken Throne.
So the tropes, there are quite a few actually in this series, and specifically in this book. And
starting off with dystopian fantasy.
And there's rebellion.
You have a strong female main character.
There's a love triangle.
And you have red blood versus silver blood.
And there's hidden powers, which was actually, like, one of the fun elements, I thought, in the story.
I loved seeing all the different powers.
So we'll get to more of that later. So the synopsis for this story is, Mayor Barrow's world is divided by blood. Those with common, red blood serve the silver-blooded elite, who are gifted with superhuman abilities. Mayor is a red, scraping by as a thief in a poor rural village, until a twist of fate throws her in front of the Silver Court. Before the king, princes, and all of the nobles, she discovers she has an ability of her own. To cover up this impossibility, the king forces her to play a role of the lost Silver Princess and betroths her to one of his own sons. As Mare is drawn further into the Silver World, she risks everything and uses her new position to help the Scarlet Guard and growing Red Rebellion, even as her heart tugs her in an impossible direction. One wrong move can lead her to death, but in the dangerous game she plays, the only certainty is betrayal.
So, like, what were your expectations going into this book?
I've heard that this was, like, compared to so many different romantasy series going in.
Yeah.
I had pretty, like, I wouldn't say high expectations, but I expected it to be something I would really enjoy based off the, but, like, even though I hadn't read a lot of what it was compared to, they all sounded like things I would really like. So I thought it would be really good.
Yeah, like, I expected to love it, but I was a bit worried going into it that it wouldn't live up to the hype, or it would be too similar to other books that I've read.
Especially because you had just read something with a similar story.
And, like, that did impact my reading experience.
Mm-hmm. So, what did you end up rating this book?
I gave it a solid 4 stars. Like, I was on the fence. Like, I was feeling like it could have been worth 5, but I didn't feel it enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, maybe it's more of like a 3.5, because I didn't love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is worthy of 4 stars.
It was just under 4 stars for me. I think I gave it like a 3.75, and then on Goodreads I had to rate it a 4.
Yeah.
But I don't think I felt it was like a full 4.
Yeah, I get that. So, like, after finishing this book, what would you compare it to?
It gave me Lunar Chronicle vibes, like specifically Cinder.
Okay.
Mashed up with like other YA dystopian fantasy books I've read. Like maybe a little bit of Shadow and Bone.
Okay. Like, my brain doesn't go there, but I see it.
Like, just going off like little like bits
like
of vibes.
The setting and the vibe.
Exactly. But they followed like the same YA formula for a fantasy. Like you had the main character that comes from nothing and is given the opportunity to become something, or, you know, make a great change for them and their people. You have a thief turned royalty, and you overcome hardships and achieve greatness, and you go through like deadly trials or a war or something like that. I feel like that's the same formula that like almost all of the fantasy books go through.
Yeah, I know. I feel like after a while they all feel the same. They're all the same book.
In some ways, there's got to be something really distinct to set it apart, and I don't feel like this book did that for me.
I don't know. I feel like if I had read this one first, I think I could have given it the 5 star. But like for me, I had read the Powerless trilogy by Lorna Roberts first, and like I've heard a lot of hate for the Powerless trilogy and like how it's like a ripoff of Red Queen. Like, I see the comparisons, I see what people are saying, but Powerless did it better. At least in my opinion.
And I feel like that's just a great area for me to like think about, because there are so many stories that follow the same like pattern
and the same twists.
And I'm like, what makes, like, how can you say it's the same when it's not?
Yeah.
It's not the same book. It's just very similar.
Similar plot lines, similar twists. And then, like, another book that was similar to me was The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. But that was mainly due to the love triangle aspect.
Gotcha.
And, like, some of the plot twists.
Yeah, because I have that one and Powerless on my shelf, but I haven't read them yet because you told me to wait a while.
You need a break
after reading this to go into those.
Do not read them all like within the same like few months. They will blur together, and you will be like, I literally just read this. Like, I didn't. It's different, but like
it'll feel like you did
because they follow the same like storylines, plot twists, love triangle aspect. Like, they all have the same love triangle.
And, like, a dystopian kind of setting. Yeah. So, were you expecting Mare to be able to suddenly wield lightning?
I was not expecting it. Like, I figured she would gain some sort of powers eventually, either later in the series or maybe towards the end of the book. But not, like, right away, like she did.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting it to come about the way it came about either.
Yeah, the lightning powers. I'm like, are we Violet from Fourth Wing now?
Yes, and I feel like when it happened, it wasn't super clear as to how it happened and like why.
I was like, oh, that's weird. Oh, we have lightning now.
And I was like, cool, but weren't you a little confused? Like, I just remember, like, I had to reread that part.
Yeah,
like, what?
I reread that a couple times.
Yeah.
To fully grasp what was happening.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was the intent, or I just was having problems that day reading. I don't know.
But all of you were having problems. I was having problems too.
But that's not that uncommon, because we think the same in a lot of the times, you know?
Yeah. So, like, did you expect them to make her a princess and give her a new identity?
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt like that was something that was pretty predictable, and that's something I've seen happen in, like, all of the young adult fantasy books.
Yeah. Completely agree. I saw a comment, I was just
Because I was like, where else could the story have gone? What other way could there have been a solution to what was happening? I couldn't, you know what I mean? It just felt like that was the natural progression the story was going to go.
Yeah, especially considering that it was going to be a book and then a series.
Exactly. It had to continue somehow.
They could have avoided it all and just killed her off, but then then we wouldn't have a book.
Exactly. We wouldn't have a series. So do you think that you could lie and pretend to be someone you weren't in order to save yourself and those you love from harm?
I think it would be a struggle. But, like, I feel like I could do it if that is what would keep me and my family safe.
I think the stakes would have to be high enough. Like, no doubt could you do it. Mm-hmm. Like, in any situation, if you're backed in a corner and you don't have any choices like she did, mm-hmm. then of course, you may not be great at it, but you would learn and adapt. Mm-hmm. Like, what choice would you have?
Yeah.
I feel like it's that way for, like, anything in life. Mm-hmm. Like, you just...
Fake it till you make
it. Exactly. What else can you do?
Do your best.
So in this story, there were many different abilities that the characters have. Mm-hmm. And, like, you have Lightning Girl.
Yep. Fire Wielder.
You have nymphs that manipulate water.
Singers who can make people do what they wish whenever they sing.
There's Whispers that do mind control.
Skin Healer and Blood Healers.
There's Stone Skin.
Strong Arms, which have super strength.
And there's Swift, which is speed.
Telki, which is telekinesis.
Magneton, which control metal.
Shadow, which bends light.
Techies, which make light, cameras, video screens, keep power running, make guns and bullets, bombs and ships, etc.
And Storms, which control the weather.
And then there are Oblivions, which explode stuff. Mm-hmm. So out of these, which would you hope to have and how would you use it to better your life or those of your people?
So I think I would want to be a nymph and control the water. Mm-hmm. I feel like there would be so much that I could use. Mm-hmm. And, like, I for sure would not want to be in Oblivion and explode stuff.
No.
Like, that is, like, any power but that, honestly.
And, like, what would being able to bend light do? Like, how would you use that?
You can hide in the shadows.
But, like, why would you want to do that? And, like, would you want to be a techie that, like, controls and makes all of the different things? Like, that would come in handy.
Yeah. Like,
I can see that being useful.
You would always have a job.
Yes.
Like, for sure.
So maybe that's something that would be beneficial in a situation like her. Mm-hmm. That she could, like, you know, do what she needed to do to provide for her family. Mm-hmm. So, but I think I would want to be able to control the weather. Mm-hmm. I would travel by tornado, and I would literally blow people away whenever they annoyed me.
Yeah, but I feel like I would want to be a nymph, but I feel realistically I would probably end up being, like, a techie. And controlling and, like, creating, like, tech.
It would also be cool to be able to, like, sing and have people have to listen to you and do what you tell them.
I could see you, like, I feel like that could possibly be the power that you ended up with.
Yes.
Even though it may not be the one that you necessarily want.
Yes. I don't know that I would want to be able to manipulate people like that, because I feel like I would for sure use that power.
Hopefully for good.
Well, I don't know. I feel like there's a little villain in me.
I feel like there's a little bit of villain in anyone.
Yes.
I feel like anyone that winds up with powers has potential of becoming a villain.
Yes.
When Mare learns that she actually creates electricity and doesn't just manipulate it, she learns that she and her ability are completely different than anyone else. And she wonders, like, what is wrong with her? How would you think and react to learning that if you were in her shoes?
I would probably want to know if there were more people like me. Because I think I would think there must be at least someone else that has similar abilities to me. And I would want to probably meet them to learn more about myself and what I'm capable of.
I would be wondering, why me? And, like, what makes me different? Why am I different?
Right.
And then I would want to figure out just what is my ability and how to use it.
Right, because in a situation like she was in, I would be trying to figure out how I could better my life and those of the people I care about. And if I had this new ability, I would be thinking, there's got to be a way to use this to help me and my people.
Yeah.
So when we find out that Mare isn't the only one with the red blood that is different compared to others, that she isn't the only one out there with this unique marker in her blood, were you expecting this? Where did you think the story was going to go from there when she found out?
So, like, it makes sense that she wouldn't be the only one. And that she would want to find them. Like, that makes sense. I wasn't necessarily sure where the story was going to go. I was just along for the ride. But, like, as it played out, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I figured that there must be other people she would want to know so that she could learn more about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know in that situation I would want to know more.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So neither one of us really cares for the love triangles.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what were your thoughts on this one between Mare and the two princes? Did it bother you?
I didn't find it really annoying, but I think that's probably because it wasn't, like, the main focus of the story.
Yeah.
And it's pretty common in, like, fantasy stories like this that the main female character has a crush on one person, but they're forced to be with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't, like, that original of a concept, but it did get more prominent and annoying as the story went on.
Yes.
But initially, it didn't bother me.
Mm. So, like, this particular love triangle didn't necessarily bother me too much. But let's be real, we all know that I hate love triangles.
Yes.
They annoy me. Just pick a guy and move on with your life. But, like, I didn't hate it. But I also could have done without it. And, like, the twists, I've seen it before. I've seen it many times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over it.
I feel like it's a pretty classic thing to be with someone but want to be with someone else but you can't because of the situation and then, like, hand you're dealt. They deal with it.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, but I really wish I was with this person. That's the part that gets annoying.
Yes.
Is when you get the inner thoughts of, like, oh, what was me? I really want to be with you, but I can't because of my station now. And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
And the fact that it's always, like, with brothers.
Yes.
Like, no, just why?
Yeah, I don't really understand that. I'm like, if you like one, how do you even start to like the other one?
Mm.
Like, because I would think you would just know that's off limits and you just don't even go there.
Right.
So that is where I don't really understand that.
It's like, there's countless books that, again, have the love triangles, but also have the love triangle involve brothers.
Yes.
Just, I don't get it.
I know. I still read them and enjoy them, but I do get a little annoyed, and I have my hard time wrapping my head around that whole concept and situation, because I just can't see it as a realistic thing that would happen in my life.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, so, like, it didn't bother me as much as it did in other books. But still, not a fan of love triangles.
Mm-hmm.
So, after reading The Red Queen, do you plan on continuing the series?
I don't think so, because it just wasn't a favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I really don't remember the second half of the book that much.
Yep.
I don't feel like I need to continue to find out what's going to happen. It's not like eating at me where I'm like, oh, I really want to read the next one.
You already removed them from your library.
I did.
They're already off to the
So there was like a period where I was like, I don't know about this, so I put it on a stool in the corner of the library and was just like, I just got to think about it. And then I moved them to the shelf in the basement and I waited a little longer and mulling over it, and then finally I donated them.
I am not convinced that I need to continue the series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give the second book a try.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Red Queen is a little blurred in my mind by this point. It's been a little bit since we read it.
It's been like 3.5 weeks.
And, like, I've read so many books that were similar that they all blur together in my mind.
Yes.
So, moving forward, I don't know that I'm invested enough to continue.
But book 2 could surprise you and hook you again.
So I'm going to give book 2 a try, and if I don't love it, I'll be saying goodbye, and it'll be off to the bookstores.
And I feel bad, because we had planned on reading a book in the series every other month, and then continuing this, like, as a series, going over the whole series, but I just can't.
It will not be happening.
So this is the only one you get.
But we have plenty of other books that we are going to be buddy reading throughout the year, and we'll see what winds up being episodes, what doesn't.
Yes. We don't want to commit. Because I feel like every time we commit to something like that, it ends up being something we don't enjoy. Yeah, we end up not enjoying. So we're just kind of like loosely have a list of books we're going to try and read together. Well, thank you for tuning into Bookish Sisters podcast. Make sure to tune in 2 weeks for our next episode. Happy reading!